Performance.
Welcome curling fans across Ontario and around the world to another exciting season of curling on Title Sports Live. Today we have live coverage of the Ontario U21 Men's and Women's Curling Championships being held here at the Annandale Golf and Curling Club in Ajax, Ontario. My name is Mary Chilvers and I'm joined here today by the 2018 Canadian Mixed Champion Danielle Inglis. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning, Mary. It's great to be here and to be part of the Ontario U21 Championship. This event features some of the top young curlers from all around the province competing for a chance to represent Ontario at the National U21 event being held January 13th through 21st in Shawinigan, Quebec.
Yeah.
And on our feature sheet today, we are going to be showing you the semifinal of the men's. We have Team Hall up against Team LEUNG.
So both of these teams punched their ticket to the semifinal with 5-2 records. Team LEUNG started off the week with a loss, a pretty rough loss to an 0-6 loss to Team Wilsey, who's in the final. But they strung together a series of 4 wins, including a win against Team Hall in their 5th game. Their second loss came to Team Steep, close decision, and then they fished off the round robin with a win. And Team Hall, they started off very strong. 4 wins to kick it off. Their first loss came at the hands of Team LEUNG, actually, and it was a very close game. It came down to Matt Hall's last rock. And after that, they rebounded with a win over Team Richard. And then in their last round robin game, another close one, but they did lose to Team Wilsey.
So, yeah, very interesting that Team LEUNG did beat Team Hall in the round robin. The only reason I say that is Team LEUNG is a U18 team. Is that right, Danielle?
They are.
Yes, and of course Team Hall won this whole thing last year, so very experienced team. So I think that's huge for the LEUNG team. I think that's going to give them a little boost of confidence going into this semifinal.
And I guess now is a good time for me to state my bias on air, but I'm the LEUNG team is part of the Ontario Next Gen program, and each team is paired up with a mentor coach, and I happen to be the mentor coach for Team LEUNG. So though of course we love good shots out here, I know as you said before, Mary, my heart is with the LEUNG team.
Yeah.
But Matt Hall's team, the Hall team is a fantastic group of guys. Know them all through. Seeing them out on the ice many times, worked with Matt at the Trillium Curling Camp, and they are not only the provincial representative last year, but they were actually even the runners-up at the Canadian National Championship. So very, very strong team.
Yes. They did have a little bit of a rough last game in the round robin yesterday against Wilsey. I think Matt maybe struggled a little bit with draw weight, and so he'll have to be a little sharper today.
Are we ready?
Also on the ice this morning, we have a tiebreaker game between Team Little and Team Steel. So there was only one tiebreaker needed in the entire competition. So the Curl-On had decided that it would be played this morning at the same time as the semifinal. Therefore, there was no tiebreaker to air last night.
Right.
And so, it's great because last year there happened to be multiple tiebreakers in this competition, and teams were playing into the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah. So this worked out well for the curlers, and they also had their banquet last night. So I think it was kind of nice that the teams, nobody had to go out on the ice and play that tiebreaker game. So they're all nice and fresh this morning, and we're ready to roll here. Team LEUNG does have the hammer in this game, and that is due to the fact that they did beat Team Hall in the round robin.
They had choice of hammer or rocks, and they selected hammer. Now, what's interesting to note when you get down to the playoff games is that the teams have the ability to select the rocks that they're playing with. So they have, after the banquet, the teams had a 30-minute chance to match the rocks and select from not any of the sheets. They have, because you have a men's and a women's game on at the same time, and we will all day today, the men had the option of selecting rocks from any of the odd number sheets and the women from the even number.
Got a curl. Really got
So
a
I'm
curl
liking
now.
the way this game is starting, Mary. Right off the bat, saw Team Hall put up a center guard.
Well, I like that, Danielle.
Got a little.
I think all of our viewers out there will love it as well. So we expect to see some rocks in play this first end.
So obviously they've had chats with their coach and made this decision on how they're going to approach this game.
Not bad.
And sometimes when you're playing a team that may be a little bit more experienced than you, sometimes you do have to just go right after them, because you're not going to beat them up and down the ice. They're not going to miss a whole lot of shots, so sometimes you have to get some rocks in play and try to get them to make some mistakes.
Joey! Hard, Joe, come on, go.
We also saw yesterday, especially during Matt Hall's game, they had many rocks in play in most of the ends, and their time was probably the best that we've seen all week. Both teams on the clock they were flying, even with rocks in play. So it speaks to how quickly they get in the hack and how quickly they make decisions.
Yeah.
So it is possible to play 10 ends with rocks in play.
You're right, yeah. Just in the hack and ready to go, so that the skip can take all that extra time if they need it to think about strategy.
Just soft.
One thing I've really liked about the Hall team all this week is their intensity on the ice, but their relaxed attitude off the ice too. They take themselves seriously, but not too seriously, and you can tell they're truly enjoying the week and they're enjoying the game. Great roll. And these hidden rolls can be so tough on the ice, Mary.
Yeah, we've been watching this sheet all week, and when you put the up weight a little bit, it runs very straight. And they've been having a lot of trouble getting the rolls.
So a little chance to Christmas tree.
Okay, thanks.
So that slipped a little deeper, but Mary, your famous saying, and I hope that some of these players have been listening into what you've been saying, because it's been that's really good advice, that when you're going towards the outside of the sheet, it will be faster.
Yes. Yeah, typically it is.
And Team Leung just got caught up in that situation. So double available here for Team Hall. What I really like about both of these teams, and they've really learned how to manage the ice and to get the most out of their shots. You can hear both teams are playing quieter weight, so that brings the sweepers more into play, and it also helps when you're manipulate the rocks better. The rocks were conditioned just at the beginning of this year, and that include the striking band, so very active rocks.
Close, close. Hard, Yeah. Oh, my bad. Same throw, Jeff.
Just literally a half an inch more ice. Inch more, Matt. Matt, yeah. I'm going to try and throw the same weight, you guys. Yeah, I know. I'm going to try and throw the same weight so it's on too.
I don't think there's a double here now, is there, Danielle? They're kind of side by side, those two rocks.
That's correct. They're just going for the hit and roll to corner freeze on the yellow rock that's
Easy.
in the corner.
Easy.
Close, Joe.
Close. Yep. Yes. Hard. Yep. Beauty, Jeff. Great throw. Yeah.
Still like that.
So I thought I was close on the release. Like I
don't mind tap.
wasn't popping it. Unmuted still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
I just unmuted you. I don't know. I didn't look. I don't think so.
But nothing too big, but just
But it's not
really,
going anywhere.
really to embrace the moment. They're coming into here with
A little tight.
no pressure. They don't have anything to lose
touches
really
us
at this
at all,
point.
we will be
They had
shot.
made a goal at the beginning of the season to first of all make junior provincials, U21 provincials. And one of their other goals was to make the playoffs here. So they've made their goals. But the other thing they said is that once you're there, you might as well win it. I remember getting those words of advice from someone at some point in my junior career, and it's so true. Like if you're going to be there, you might as well win it. So even though you made your goal, refocus, reset your goal.
Yeah.
It could be us, but it's real
Yeah, you
close.
set your goals one goal at a time.
But
I
at the
don't
same
think you can. I'd rather play this before that.
Oh, I was gonna say, or just here. Can't do that.
Okay, do you guys like this then? Okay, let's make it.
I think that's the call. You
Yeah,
guys
let's
you
make
guys
it.
Like that?
Yeah, I do. This was to center for Davies. So I think around here should be close. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it looks like Matt here is
Yeah, like
just
top
going,
12
he's chosen
edge on edge
to
is
just play a
pretty
draw here.
You know what
That's
ladies
pretty
say?
much all he
You know what
has at
ladies
this
say?
point.
Yeah. Speed's good here.
And again, we talked about Matt struggling a little bit yesterday with draw weight.
I think part of his struggle yesterday too is that he was having to throw in spots that were, I'll say, unusual, spots that you didn't expect to be throwing. So those paths would run differently, and then it can be tough to find your draw weight if you're having to throw different paths and you never got it right off the bat.
Whoa!
Just didn't quite curl up for him.
Beautiful draw weight.
Yeah, perfect draw weight.
Didn't quite curl up.
Unfortunately, they can give Josh a chance here and a nice little hit and roll.
He hits that. Well, it's close. I don't know. Because if really, I don't mind trying this, and even if we're here,
But I don't think we're going to get down there. I think we're going to be like here.
then try and bump it up a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he has a double when we do that. What weight do you like? Control or board?
We threw board there before.
Okay,
Probably
let's
board.
do board. I just think this much though.
Okay, that's probably max. Here?
Okay, let's do it.
So they're going for this hit and roll. I believe I heard board weight on it.
Yeah, I like it.
Just board. Try and get the roll under. Board.
Well, something
Try and
else
get the
I told
roll.
the LEUNG team before they went out is to just have fun and embrace the moment. Embrace the moment of being in this situation in a big game, because
And we
they're
might
going to
get
have
to
more
flip
throughout
that
their
top
career. And that would be the same thing I would tell the Hall team too, that you've got to embrace the butterflies.
Yeah. How were the butterflies on the Leon team? Did they mention any nerves?
Well,
No, not really. Not
Whoa.
that they're telling us.
close.
I'm sure there had to be some,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
and
Close.
butterflies can be good. So
Yeah.
Colin.
Going away.
Well, Scott
Go on, go on, go on, go on.
Hard calling.
Mitchell,
That worked.
he won the U18s
works.
last year, so he kind of knows the feeling of playing in a a semi or
we're
a
gonna be
final.
coming in for-
So he will be a good help to this team, I think,
It will,
today.
but I think that's almost good that we don't leave a double. I think it's just a little heavy. I think it's a little up.
Okay. Well, so if we throw normal, we gotta if we bump it a bit, we don't kill it. Are we gonna set up a double or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you want to take a look at it quick? Joe, just take a look quick.
I'm thinking there for normal.
I want take a look. Okay. I want you.
just take a look at the
I want you
angles.
to take a look at it, Joe.
Like normal right here, eh, Jeff?
Yeah, I think it'll curl. Or I mean, it won't curl. Sorry. I just want you to look at it, Joe. I just don't want this to spin too far up if it's gonna go like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay, normal right there, right?
Yeah, try and get it.
What are we looking at? Like 3/4?
Yeah, I know.
3/4 or half?
If you're throwing just normal, I think 2/3.
Can I get a hair more?
Yeah.
Yeah, normal on the nose is fine. Yeah, exactly. I think a hair, yeah.
Close up! Yes! Whoa! 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 Yes! Yes! Whoa! Yes!
beautiful shot by Matt.
I think if we just
You can always tell when
that might spin over top. Think so? I don't want to draw here. I think we gotta do
I don't
this.
think that's going over top.
Just a replay on that last shot of Matt's.
I don't think we should.
You know, Danielle, you can tell when a shot is close to being made, the intensity of the sweep calls.
Very
That
much.
was very intense.
Very.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would say even more intense than we've heard all week because now there's so much more on
absolutely.
the line.
You're right. Yeah.
Control, like control them.
I don't mind normal.
That's tight to that.
Oh, true.
I don't mind control.
So I haven't had a good look there, Danielle. Do you think Red's sitting
Yeah, I just.
2?
I think so. And the way they're talking about it, Josh said he wasn't comfortable in drawing in this instance. So that leads me to believe that's against 2. They wants to make sure to eliminate 1. So they've got to hit everything they can see to try to just nick that red over top. But what the shot call is also saying is that they're okay with giving up 1.
Absolutely. And he can bounce this one off the other red one, and the first hit rock will go out. He knows he's going to give up a point here. That's all he wants to give up. What a smart call here.
Yep. Yes. Yes. Hard. 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 Really hard. Come on. Hard. 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 Hard.
Really nice shot.
This one's definitely out, right?
Yep, and that is a single point for Team Hall in the first end to kick off the scoring. And it will be Team LEUNG with the hammer heading into end number 2.
Just going to show the last shot here, Danielle. He was, oh my, very close to that front yellow rock.
You know what, Mary? They needed to hit a little less of that rock, and they might have even squirted the red one out.
Yes.
So they were even close to getting a point or even 2.
Mm-hmm.
So a quick update for you on the women's semifinal game. It was a blank end to kick things off.
Wait, only line's good.
You can also follow along with the scoring, live scoring, on Curl On's website at ontcurl.com/scoreboard.
Line's good. Yep. Good, Dave. Good, bro.
Room. You got room. Wait, only. Line's fine. Line's fine. Yeah, a little finish. Line's not bad. Little finish. Little finish. Yep. Yep. Good.
Line's good. Line's good. Wait, only. Line's good.
I'm really impressed with Team LEUNG and how they're kicking off this second end as well with a corner guard. Couple reasons. One, I love the aggression. 2, it's not something that they've always been comfortable with this season. They've been more of a defensive team, and they've been learning a lot about being more offensive. So it's a proud mentor coach moment.
You should be proud. And honestly, like I told you, I watched Josh last year at the U18s. I just couldn't believe his composure, how smart he is in the rings, what a great shot maker he is.
He is, and honestly, this whole team works so hard, and they're so coachable, which is really a coach's dream. But that's what's gotten them so far so quickly.
Yeah. Well, you can tell he just absolutely loves the game. Soaks in all the information he can.
Well, I love his story of how he started curling. He actually started curling here at Annandale. But what happened is one day they had driven by the curling club. He didn't have any curlers in his family. He drove by. He said, "Mom and Dad, I want to come curl." And they got them to bring him in, sign him up, and he's since inspired more of his family members to start curling.
Yes, I was telling you, Danielle, that I actually coached his cousin, Hannah Dawn, who never curled a day in her life either until Josh got into it, and then she got interested, and now their families who never knew anything about curling are in curling clubs all the time.
Yes! Hard! Really hard. Hard, 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 hard. Come on.
Same idea. Boom. Good. Close. Yep, yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep, yep. Whoa. Dave. Whoa. Yep. That's good, Joe.
Which one? That? Like, side and spin up? You could try. There. Pretty thick. That one.
Nice throw, Joey.
Check a little more ice.
Whoa. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Hard yellow. Anything on yellow. Go. Not bad.
Great shot by second Nathan Steele.
Yeah.
Little issue though where it rolled right to the middle, started blocking off their path to the 4 foot, but at least they've removed the 2 hull stones.
Line's good.
Get it a bit early, Joe. Get it a bit early. Okay, no, line's good.
Line's good. Room.
Good. Dave's rock. You're gonna have to
Room.
throw it, buddy. You're gonna have to throw it, Dave. You gotta go, buddy. You gotta cross that line. Gotta cross that line.
Yeah, Davey, you got it. Come on. Come on, Davey. Hard. Hard, Davey. Hard. Go.
Just didn't see the finish there that they were
No.
hoping.
Not sure if it was just a little bit too much ice. He was a little light on that. He would have liked that. Kind of halfway to tight, I think.
Definitely would have finished up more if it had more weight to carry it.
Yeah. So that really gives Josh a nice opportunity here.
Whoa. Close. Yep. Hard. Really hard. Come on. Really hard. Hard. Yeah.
Roll.
You know, that rock was thrown very well, Danielle, and and he had actually quite good takeout weight on that. We've seen on this sheet that going to the wings, it has a lot of curl.
It does, and some of the teams have been tripped up by that, especially, it curls slightly more towards sheet 8, and that throw, of course, was away from sheet 8, but despite that, like you said, there's curl both ways inside out.
If you hit it thin, you can come off
But not a
hard.
bad result, getting rid of the 2 guards and spilling into the house.
Yeah. Yep. Whoa. Close. Joey, hard. Hard roll. Yep. Go. Pretty good, Jeff.
I think like that. Last. Last.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you were saying down there.
Pretty nice roll there, Danielle.
My idea was if you ever got
That was great right behind the guard. There is a double available here.
Whoa.
good throw.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. Not bad.
So when you do have up weight, it will run straight on you.
That way, if he ever makes the roll in, we have the run. Yeah, right on the nose. Board like that. Yeah. Yeah. Good board. Control should be fine with that ice.
I could see a piece of the red dot.
Oh, red like that with board weight. I think it's going to get a bit straighter, yeah. His ran pretty straight. Yeah, a good board here. Try and nose it. Okay, just get a touch more, Jeff. Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. Easy early, whoa. Easy early. Whoa. Clean it. Easy. Yep, yep. No. Clean it. Clean it. Clean it. Whoa. Joey a bit, if you can. Joey. Hard Joe. Hard Joe. Hard Joe. No roll, no roll. Yeah, I knew it was going to straighten there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they're talking. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that works. Just control. It's not getting the same bite as the first one. Yeah, I thought it would come up a bit more once we got close to center there, but kind of yeah. Center line I don't know, but on that side of center, like first
I like how Scott speaks to Josh when he's talking about ice conditions. He doesn't necessarily change
yeah, true.
it or say, no, I don't like that ice. He kind of, this term we've heard twice is saying, I think that's max ice. So in other words, you could afford to tighten up the broom.
Yeah.
And I agree with him here. This is that spawn the 8 foot we've seen run. Even though they're playing control.
That's a good point, Danielle, about how the third talks to the skip. I mean, it's so important to, well, it's important to make everybody on the team feel comfortable. But it's nice for a skip to have a third that is very reassuring. And like you say, don't say, no, that's too much ice. Just say, well, that's max ice. And the skip knows, okay, we could probably cut it down a bit.
So they got the roll, but we got half buried, and that game that rock is pretty high. So hack weight is the call for the hit. I mean, they'd like to ideally nose or even a little roll under, but making contact with this rock is priority number one.
Speed's good here. Clean it. Easy right now. Easy right now. Whoa. Whoa. Dave, you gotta go, Dave. You gotta go, Dave. You gotta go, Dave. Hard, Dave. Hard, Dave. Hard. Hard. Go. Hard. Go. Hard to it. Right out. Right out. Right out. Go. 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 Hard, Scott.
Oh, that was a great effort by the sweepers at the end. But they only pushed it to second shot.
Dead straight there.
And you can see here, they were trying, and they pushed it all the way back. They pushed out first shot, but it is still sitting second shot. So now Team LEUNG has a chance for a hit for a deuce.
Do you think I threw that well? Yeah, close. I like the really positive, but that's usual. Yeah. Just like, I mean, don't change it. I think you just adjust it.
You think it is less?
No, it's getting a lot straighter everywhere. So it's pretty straight. Just know that for the next time. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. Took a little bit less ice, Danielle.
That's good weight, though.
Also in favor of that.
Yeah, don't think this is going to move too much.
Ball. Close. Whoa. Nathan. Really hard. Really hard. Really hard.
That'll be a single point for Team LEUNG in N2, and we are all tied up in our feature game. The men's semifinal of the U21 curling championship. And it will be Team Hall with the hammer going into N number 3.
Yeah. Just needed to tighten up the ice.
So an update on the tiebreaker game going on for the women. It's Team Steele and Team Little.
Okay.
So Team Little took 2 points in the second end, and they're currently up 2-0 over Team Steele. You can't help but wonder if Nathan Steele is taking a glance over at his twin sister's game.
So we got a few siblings out there today, Danielle. We've got the Hart brothers. We got the Steele twins. So many siblings in this competition this week. It's amazing.
All in the family.
It's so hard to bury around his head that tight. It's up to you guys. What do you like?
And speaking of the Hart brothers, this is David Hart. He plays lead on this Matt Hall team.
Little light, Dave. Can we go? Can we go?
Line's a hand tight.
Okay. You gotta go. Yep.
Again, this
The
whole
line's
team
good.
won this last year and were silver medalists at the Canadian Championship.
Hard! Hard, you got it. Come on.
Hardy.
Hard, boys. Yep.
Keep it on that line. Keep it on that line.
Okay, whoa. It's all right, Davey.
That's pretty good, Dave.
Good sweep. Sorry.
That's a good shot.
I think there.
Top 12. Just a hair light, not bad. I like the throw.
And Colin Schnurr is the lead for the LEUNG team.
Wait only. 5-6. Close.
This whole team actually is qualified for the Ontario Winter Games this year, happening at the beginning of March. And one of Colin's proudest moments is skipping his school team to OFSA, and he actually plays on that team with Scott.
Okay.
And they happen to play against Nathan's school team, so they tell us there's a big rivalry coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Top's good.
Okay, sorry. I thought top. That's okay.
Like back 8, back 4.
Do you like the top? Okay, well then play the draw then. Play the draw. Tell him.
Okay.
Wait's good.
I like this too. Got the opportunity to come around this guard, and you can leave your red rock there for hopefully maybe use later.
How's line?
Yeah, it's in a good position up there. No need to change that right now, and you can take advantage of this corner yellow guard.
Wait only.
Wait's good.
Line's great.
Okay, yep. To the back. Need it. You need to touch a piece.
Then it's show. No bounce. No bounce. No bounce.
We need to touch it a bit.
Line's great. No bounce.
Okay.
Line's great.
Sorry.
Okay, that's good, Dave. Good pair.
I think a pretty fast spot on the ice. Both teams went far behind that tee line.
Yeah, this is the spot that's slightly straighter if you get out into the 8-foot, and that's also contributes to why it's so speedy. So once it catches the curl, it will lose the weight, but not in this spot.
Line's good. Here. Yeah, back. On its own. Scott. No, on its own. Whoa. No, sit down. Sit.
To be honest, I thought Josh had a little too much broom on when he put it down right then. We've seen this spot, Marion. You can really hold it out with sweeping, even if a player is tight.
Yeah. Even on Josh's last shot in the previous end, he could have tightened that ice up so much because he had the whole house to roll into on the inside of the shot rock.
Agreed, and I think they were looking at hitting the outside of that too, but that was almost more difficult because they had to stick around in the full 12. Whereas, as you put it, Mary, if they had crossed the face, they would have
No,
got
you
single,
can't. No line.
and they would have
Bye.
gone both points. But that's just all in the learning process.
It is, yeah. This was Joseph Hart throwing this.
Good weight, Joe.
Second stones for the Matt
Just
Hall
like-
team.
I don't mind this.
Trying to play shots that aren't there.
Just there, yeah.
You like that or draw?
Who shot?
We just gotta be.
They are.
We're not playing shots that aren't there. You know.
I don't mind it. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Board?
I know. He's just not reading that. Yeah, I know.
Nathan Steele throws the second stones for the LEUNG team.
Yeah. You gotta pick your own ice, then pick your own ice.
Not only were a competitor at the 2016-2017 U21 props, but was also the 2016 mixed champion, and he won that provincial with his sister.
Right.
Yep. Yep. Spin, Nate.
I think so.
Good shot there. Nice weight control.
Yeah, great shot. So Matt is
Well, our red's in a
going to
good
clean
spot.
up the front here.
I don't mind it if you can touch it in the rings, yeah.
He's hoping
Our
to
red's not going
peel this
anywhere.
yellow one out. He could possibly touch his red one into the
I don't
rings at
mind
the
this,
same
Joe.
time.
Over the top of everything. You won't hit anything. You are. It's. What turn, Matt? Okay. You got it, Joe. Yeah, aim for like half to 2/3.
Firm. Whoa. Firm. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard.
That's exactly what he did. Look at
Guard,
that.
guard.
Great
Great shot.
Real good.
Nice, buddy.
Oh,
Beautiful. And it's Team Hall who has all of the angles right now.
Yep.
I'd give him a 5 out of 4 for that one, Danielle.
Absolutely.
Then he gets the corner guard on top of it. Great shot.
That was kind of reminiscent of Ryan Fry's shot in the Briar in Ottawa, where they called the angles to get the guard and the rock moving into the house
That
perfectly
was
lined.
the most unbelievable shot I've ever seen. Called and made.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll never forget that shot.
Might have been right up there with Glenn Howard's.
Line's good.
I don't know what you'd call that. In-off redirect double something or
yeah.
other at the, was it the 2007 Briar? We could, I think we could wander over 10 feet and ask Richard Hart. He's sitting here watching his sons.
Yeah.
We're never gonna get that other red to count unless we run it in. So. Where are we hitting it, Matt?
What?
Where? Like nose or
It's
where?
right on the nose. Try and do
Hey,
that.
just tell me nose. Yeah, I know. You guys hold it. Okay, yeah, don't peel, so it should fall.
So Matt wants to get rid of a couple of these yellow rocks in the house.
Yep.
Try to bring his red rocks into play.
Yep. Yes. Hard. Drag it out. Yep. Hard, Dave. Hard. Roll it. Pretty good, Jeff.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Good sweep.
They had the angles back there, and they managed to keep their red in behind, punch it behind the guards. So
I think the same thing.
starting to get into a dangerous situation here for Team LEUNG, and they're going to have to guard for their lives, basically.
They really are, Danielle, because not only is Matt sitting 2 in the house with the third one very close in the house, but there's a very easy double here for Matt. Okay, we've got a timeout here for the LEUNG team.
Renee Lalonde is the coach of Team LEUNG, and he's heading on out there. And we mentioned this before. We're on sheet 7, and the coaches have to access the ice at sheet 1. So gives the players a few extra, well, at least an extra minute to chat. So we'll listen in to them. And in fact, Renee's going to have to make her way not only all the way down to sheet 7, but the other end of the ice.
Yeah.
Sitting 3-4 behind the corner, is that like it's a thin double, but like it's there.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm wide, we have a chance of doing that. Hitting it and going on back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to.
There's no triple. Even if you're like up here, there's no triple.
I think we play that like hack.
Anywhere. Like,
Okay.
unless you're over here.
Yeah. Maybe sit 1, maybe sit 2, 3, 4.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, let's see.
I guess it's too easy.
It's pretty easy.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, it's quite easy.
Because realistically, if you're guarding for your life and you guys miss one of them, they're going to be down for the double.
And there's no triple set up.
If you come under here, even if you're like 3/4 buried top 8, at least they don't have a lot to play off of. They'll make this double, but then you'll have a little bit of options, okay?
Yeah.
You guys are playing well. Keep it up.
Okay, so where do you like the broom?
I think a bit more on edge of 4.
Bit
Or
more?
around edge of 4.
Okay. Yeah, around edge.
Scott, if you're wide in here, that's not bad.
Okay.
So after that chat, I like where the players have gone with this. They could just guard, but that's tough. You've got to make the exact rock. But if you can come around the rock and at least try to tuck a piece, it would be best if they were shot in top 8. But at least if they could tuck a piece and be shot over the back red, that would at least give them something to work with. It's a bit of a dangerous situation. So big shot coming up from third, Scott Mitchell, who we mentioned earlier. He's the 2017 U18 provincial champion. And he plays 5th at nationals.
Close, yep. Whoa.
And he's, speaking of family,
Yep.
you might recognize
Yep.
the last name.
Line's good.
Scott Mitchell. His dad is Colin Mitchell, the 1988 negative Olympic gold medalist.
Nathan, yes.
So 1998. 1890. Sing right from me and quick to change that. But great shot from Scott.
What do you like, Norm? Norm? Okay, good, Norm.
Third for the whole team is Jeff Wanless.
Whoa. No! Post!
Yeah, hard, Scott. Hard, come on. Come on. Keep going.
Okay, that's okay, Jeff.
All right, so a good run back there from Jeff. They killed their back one, but they managed to stick the rock in the house. So listening to Team LEUNG.
But that rolled over, so I like to force it. You don't like this. Yep. Same thing. Yeah, I like same. Same thing. Yeah. Make it good though. What's the draw time now?
Yeah, absolutely.
So another big pressure draw coming up from Team LEUNG.
Okay.
You could overhear Matt Hall talking about this. If there is a pocket sitting back there, so if this draw comes up light, they can hit and roll off the yellow. Even and if they don't make any sort of a double, they can hit and roll. It'll be tough to remove those two reds.
Got it, girl.
No line. No.
On its own.
Yeah. No, we're tapping it.
Yeah, he's just nosing it. Sure.
Okay. I don't think there's a triple.
Yeah, just make the double.
Unfortunately, it looks like
I like sitting right here, Jeff. Like not even in front of the yellow, just sit there. Normal? Yeah, for sure. So normal right there. Sure. Like literally hitting. It should go 7/8 high. Yeah, 7/8. Okay. 3/4. Yep.
Oh, did you? Oh, it's
Just a hair more. Yeah. Just good norm. Just normal weight, 7/8 high.
so they're not
Yeah,
only
it
wanting to
should.
get the triple, but they're conscious of where their shooter's going to roll to, and they want to roll just in front
less.
of the yellow rock,
I'll
and
be a little solid if
that'll
I
mean
do
that
the short
their
goes.
two rocks are
We
pretty
just want to roll in
parallel.
front of the yellow though. That's
Yeah, I
that's the
think
first thing.
they're just playing the double and roll in front of that yellow. And if he makes this, you know, he's going to have 3 red rocks in the house, and Josh is going to have a bit of a problem.
Whoa, whoa. Yep. Hold! Whoa! Close! No! No! Joey!
Whoa, whoa.
So roll farther than they wanted, but it's still a great
shot.
result.
Really good.
I think there might be a double for Josh now, though.
There is. It's a dangerous double, though, because if you're ever on the outside of that rock and you jam on the yellow, you could be looking at giving up a 4-under.
Well, no, not if I like frozen on. I think it's either that or there, right?
Yeah.
That other big thing is that red got shot rock out of it.
Yeah. It's which one do you think's better?
Because we can't hit this. Or
I know. But it's one of those two,
I
right?
kind of like this.
You think there? You guys like that?
We can't hit.
He might be like
There.
if he could whip it, he might
We could do that.
But you just threw that.
Okay. You like mid-4 then?
Why? You just were heavy and kind of popped it out.
I still think a little.
Okay.
less.
Okay.
I agree with Scott's call of less ice on that. He popped it out, but he didn't pop it out 2 feet.
Yeah.
You really do need to start in the 4 foot to get that. So there are the two options. You could draw around. It was a good point by Scott. You just threw this draw. The other option was what Josh had shown, which was the freeze on the red rock.
Yeah.
Both are equal pressure.
Yeah, equal difficulty. Yeah, you
But
just-
they need to bury this, otherwise they might leave a double.
Well, yeah, like the last one, like we saw, did hang out a bit, and we can't leave the on. He just threw this a little wide.
Got it, curl.
You're ready, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Firm. Do we almost like the out turn?
So they have a double here to pick up 4. Even though they played that last shot, Mary, to be honest, I like the other call, the freeze on the red, because it at least had some form of tolerance there. If they were a bit light, they could have covered some of the yellow. I mean, they still would have had the red onto it, but it would have been a more difficult shot. So,
Yes.
but I mean, just unfortunate timing here.
Yep. Yeah!
Yep. Drag it out. Yes. Drag it out. Hard. Drag it out. Hard. Drag it out. Hard. Touch it. Okay, good. Great sweep from Dave.
Beautiful sweep, and that is going to be 3 points for Team Hall. Let's see the replay on this.
So
Hey, Josh.
the sweepers pretty much made that shot, Danielle. And Matt knew he was going to throw it tight, let the sweepers bring it out.
Okay, thank you.
Which is very smart, because on this ice, you throw it at all wide, it's not coming back.
You can see he swept so hard, he swept his stopwatch right off
Did he?
his broom. Yeah, and actually they were having a bit of a discussion down there about whether or not the stopwatch touched the rock when it was thrown. But, of course, really, if it did touch, it would have the LEUNG team could tell it to go off, but in the end, that's just a show of good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Line's good. Line's room. Wait only. Line's great.
Again, Team Hall
Going sideways.
has a 3-point lead. They're up 4-1 over Team LEUNG, but Team LEUNG will have the hammer in the fourth
tight,
end.
Just tight. That grabbed something, Davey. Good throw.
We'll give you an update on the women's tiebreaker game happening on sheet 4. Team Steel with a deuce in N2, and Team Little with a deuce in N2, and Team Steel picked up a single point in N3. So Team Little up 2-1.
Got it, Curl. Yeah, Scott. Come on, Scott. Got to finish it. You got to finish it. Hard. Come on, hard. Hard.
Sorry, Davey, I got off and I just...
Okay, we can go that way.
Yeah, there's a hair light on me, but I thought it was
Top 4.
So Team Hall made a bit of a mistake here on their first lead rock.
Yep, gotta go
They
for
definitely
line.
wanted to put that in the house, Danielle,
Hey, whoa.
being up 3 points.
They did. They thought it had grabbed something even potentially and slowed down, but
We're playing the top.
we do see movement in the middle, so
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to give him corners.
Okay, well, I got to bounce it off the rock. It's not there.
Okay. Yeah.
And another uncharacteristic miss. They've now given Team LEUNG 2 extra guards to be working with, one of them being a corner.
Room. Line's not bad. Wait only.
So we're going to see some rocks flying once Team Hall gets up to bat.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Switch. Curl. Hard, all the way. Hard.
Pretty nice shot.
For him.
I can pull it out if you got it.
Whoa. Yep. Oh. Whoa. That's good, Joe.
I just narrowly missed the run back, and they've left a corner on the other side now. So Team LEUNG coming around the 2 corner guards. So pretty important for Nathan to get this one buried behind in a good position.
Good. Switch. Line's not bad. Scott. Come on, Scott. Really hard finish, Scott. Come on. Go, you guys got it. Hard, Scott. Come on. Hard. Hard, hard. Nice.
Nice shot by Nathan.
It really was.
The
If they had
there.
they left the double, I think they got it just far enough to make it very tough. If they had left it slightly higher, it would have been an easier double. And this team knows how to bring the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Whoa. No. No, 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 no. Okay. No worries.
Be important for Nathan to tuck another piece, at least, of this rock around the guard.
Room.
Don't want to leave it out there for them to play hit and roll or a double on.
Exactly, yes. Nathan just threw a draw on the other side. I think the weight should be about the same on this side.
No, it's good. Colin has to. It's fine. Colin, you have to. Come on.
Oh, wow, we're way out.
Yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Okay.
So I had to keep bringing that back to at least get a piece buried. The good thing about this is they didn't leave a double.
Mm-hmm. And they got a piece buried, so 2 nice shots by Nathan.
I think
2
that's
nice
the best
draws.
shot if you make it.
Okay, where do I have to hit it, Matt?
What?
Where am I hitting it? Half or what? I don't know what that is.
Thin half.
Okay.
Firm. A third is good.
Noticed a big difference between the last time we had Team Hall on camera here and in this game. You can really hear the intensity of the players. You can hear it in their voice, in the tone, and the way they're calling line.
Absolutely, yeah. I really noticed a huge difference. It's like a different team. They want this.
Well, it's in this case they have something to lose. They are a U21 team. This is the last kick of the can for a couple of them, I think, or for Matt.
Whoa.
No, it's not Matt.
It's not Matt.
I think it's Jeff's.
Jeff's.
Yeah.
Jeff's.
Whoa. 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 No. No. Good.
Beautiful shot. Wow, really nice shot, and it's completely buried.
You do this.
Good news is, though, that Josh is still sitting shot rock.
Oh, yeah, it was hard. That was a thin half.
Well, they have 2 options here. One is to guard this rock, and that's what they're playing. The other one is to try to come in and put a rock in, just biting the top 4. So getting part buried behind the guard and can leave it at a steep angle, then be tough to make a double on.
Room. Colin.
It's easier on those shots with
Colin.
tight and just feed it back out and you can pull it back. It's easy.
Come on, Colin. You got it. Hard, Colin. You got it. Really hard. Hard, Colin. Hard. 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 Hard.
Just need about 5 feet more weight on that, and they, I think they would have gone that guard.
Yeah, that's the only reason I wasn't 100% sold on the guard as the call. They're just so hard to make perfectly. I liked your other call, Danielle, maybe coming in half around on the 4-foot.
Easy. Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Joey. Joey.
Punch out.
Punch out.
Punch out.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Good. Great throw.
Okay.
I want to leave it right there. I want to leave it on the center line. Yeah, I won't roll it too much.
They didn't want to quite roll that far because now there's a freeze available on there. Not the easiest port to negotiate exactly with how it curls in here, but very makeable shot.
I kind of, like, you were a hair wide, but we were up the center, so I put him on it early just to make sure, because I knew we'd still be okay. Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, you just gotta watch your time a little bit.
On its own. No.
Close.
No.
Call it. Call
Hard,
it.
guys, come on.
Needs to be
Get in
shot.
here. Gotta be
Hard,
here.
go.
Gotta be here.
Hard!
Hard.
Hard!
I think they just really got tricked on how much it curled and how much it lost the weight there, but they had great line.
Guard it. Right here? Yeah, it's not gonna curl, Matt. We can hold it. Yeah. I think can I give you an inch less? Sure. Like here? Remember that guard you threw 2 ends ago? I gave you edge of 4, and it did. And I gave it just a clean release, and it didn't curl. Split center's perfect. Yeah, split center. Okay, we're shot 2 right now. Just try, guys. Just try not to pull it out early. Yeah, split center's here. Okay. Line's good. Line's good. Wait only. Line's good. Line's fine. Line's good. Line's fine. It's gonna overcurl if anything. Line's great. Split center line, guys. It's gonna overcurl. Over and off. Just split center. Off. Just clean. Okay, just clean. Line's great. That's great. Great judge, boys.
Great shot.
So what do you like
I'd really like if we can get rid of both of those. It'd be good if we can get rid of both of those.
And then that goes there. Okay.
If we get rid of both of those, then they can't guard that and the draw.
Yeah, I like that. Which way?
Well, that is really thin. I like this way.
The red might spill right in.
We need to get it out of the way, though.
Yeah. It's like half. Less than half.
Less than half. Like here.
Okay, give me like beside the rock, I think. Or more than beside the rock. Okay. Yeah. Double peel. Just peel the top 2 off. Then we're gonna have a draw.
Yeah, they need to get both of these rocks out here to give Josh a chance at a draw right now. He's got all paths to the button blocked off.
Yeah, Josh needs to make a good one here.
Whoa. Close. Whoa. Yep.
Sorry.
Same shot, Josh.
That was thinner than I thought.
Yeah, I know.
It's my bad.
Needed to hit that little thinner, Danielle. Had to sweep it a bit.
He did just a slight miscalculation on what they thought they had to hit there.
Yes. Matt is going to replace the guard again. Josh is going to have a bit of a tough shot to take a point.
And he's throwing against 2 as well.
Okay, you're a little wider, guys. Wider! Line's good. Room. Go if you have to for weight, but you're wider line. Make sure it's over, boys. Keep it going. Line's gonna be good. Keep it going. Line's gonna be good, boys. Get it over. Line's gonna be good, boys. Come on. Come on, boys. Go. Go. Come on, go.
Oh, dear.
That is it's too bad. It's disappointment for their team, but
If I'm wide, you might even die.
Team Leung is breathing a sigh of relief now.
What weight do you like?
Sigh of relief.
Just T-line.
Even still,
back.
Josh doesn't have an easy shot right now.
Just
Josh
there
is
at
looking
most.
at
Yeah, it's
playing a little tap on his
at most.
Mine had quite a bit of finish.
yellow. I
'Cause
think
we
he
could
can
even
get
be
two
wide.
here, Danielle.
Okay.
I think that's good.
Pretty delicate shot, but
Okay, you got it. Just back 4, back 8.
they got to go for it.
Just tap. Back 4-ish.
So a tap back 4, they're
might be
looking
able
to
to
send
get
it right
it
about
wide,
straight
too.
back, and
Just
we've
take
seen
off
it
that
can
rounder.
curl. The other thing that they got to keep in mind too is if they're a little wide, hit about half a rock or even a quarter of the rock, that yellow can bounce off the red and spill in. So there's some tolerance on this shot.
How's the weight?
Might see a bit of curl in this spot, Danielle.
Yeah.
Yes. Go, whoa, 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 whoa.
Colin.
Whoa.
Colin. Colin.
Colin.
Come on, Colin.
Really hard, Colin.
Hard on that yellow.
And that's good for the single.
Sorry, boys.
So Team Leung picks up 1 point in end 4. They are trailing Team Hall 4-2 after 4 ends, and it will be Team Hall with the hammer going into end number 5.
Yeah, exactly.
So some scary moments, some clutch moments, and
Yeah, some surprising moments like that hogged guard.
well, you can see just how one shot can make the difference.
Yes.
The one shot either way, missed or made.
Yeah.
So an update on what's happening in the women's tiebreaker on sheet 4.
1-2.
Team Little
Wait only.
with taking 1 point in end 4. They now lead
Hard.
3-1 over Team
Switch.
Steel.
He was nice. Scott. Yeah. Yeah, you can go. Yeah, hard. Hard. Good.
Yeah, sounds good, bud.
No, in final games, the
Up
shots
court.
that even seem so easy, a guard or an open hit,
You're going to need to tighten up the ice there.
at this stage and
past couple.
with this
No, I
pressure
don't think so. Can I
on
go?
the teams,
Room.
they're really not.
Line's good, line's good.
Matt was
One,
trying to be so
two.
precise with that guard.
Joey! Hard!
Oh, because they know they have to make every shot. And
Okay, well, there's a miss from the Hall team.
I'll struggle with draw weight right now.
Close.
3, 4.
Yep.
How's line?
Good. Room. Switch. Nathan.
Weight's good.
Take,
Weight's good.
whoa.
Weight's really good.
Stay close. Nathan.
That's why I went on it early. Because I didn't want
Weight's
Yeah,
really good.
you got finish. You got finish.
Hard Nate, go, go, go.
Come on.
Hard Nate, go, 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 go.
Okay.
Nice shot.
It's not getting any quicker though than it was. I'd say if anything, it feels like it's coming down a couple feet. I think so. Not getting quicker.
Nice one, Colin.
Good draw behind, good draw weight.
Okay, really good shot.
Line's good. Race close.
We could
Right
hear
only,
the teams
line's
talk
good.
about the ice and the
Line's
ice
good, right
conditions
only.
and how it's running.
Line's good. Wait
The
only.
difference now with the final games is there's only 2
Line's
sheets
good,
on the
boys,
ice
come
as
on, get
opposed
in
to
here.
8.
Come on,
So it has the
line's great,
potential to
line's great, get in here.
change
Hold on,
what
wait,
they're
right
seeing
to it,
out
right
on
to
the
it, right
ice.
to it, right to it. Go, 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 go. Okay, good throw, Dave.
That's a better shot from
Why don't we
Dave.
go 3? Go 3 right behind the staggered guards. Go right here. I need a little.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
No, I think
Here.
we're good.
Line's good for this.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
On your own. On its own. Whoa.
My bad, Nate.
On its own.
I'm just thinking about that.
Sit down. Sit down.
Every single game,
Sit.
late you start getting.
Nate, that's my bad.
Stop. That's okay. Normal.
That's my bad.
Down normal.
Whoa.
Down normal.
Whoa. No. Dave. Just take your time, boys.
It's funny, Danielle. I just heard them say, "Take your time, boys," and I did
3.
notice that Joseph was out of the hack as soon as that broom was put down. I thought, well, he's fast, but maybe needs to take a couple more moments in the hack because he definitely threw that one a little wide.
That's important, and sometimes that's a characteristic of when you're frustrated or you're
Even when you're
Hard.
anxiety is high, you tend to
Real hard.
everything
All the
goes
way.
a little
Come on,
faster.
guys.
You really have to slow down.
Yeah, keep going.
you just want to get in there
Yes.
and fix it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Next one. Probably just keep guarding, right? Yep. Whoa. Yep. Roll it.
Great double.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah.
And when you've had some struggles or some
It's like
missed
a
shots on your
1-2.
team, having crucial big shots like that made they're so important. Just to, not only to try to score, but for the morale of the team.
Yeah, he came back his second shot and made it, and that's going to help his own morale as well. Josh here is sitting in a nice position now. 2 rocks in the house buried, and he's going to put up another guard. Longer guard.
One's good. One's good. One's
Switch.
really good. Switch. Got a curl. Colin. Got a curl. Keep going. Whoa. Leave it high. Oh, that's good. It's good.
Great placement.
Yep. Whoa. Close up. No!
And they almost got the rocks in the house, too.
Tight 3, right on the center line, yeah.
Yeah, right on center.
I'm thinking less. Like there.
Yeah, I agree with the call of less ice. I think Scott's outturn is getting more curl than Josh's right now from what we've seen. Still, we talked about this before. The brushers can hold it on this line.
A little tight. Colin, go. Hard going.
Did throw this a little
Whoa,
tight.
Whoa.
Oh, dear.
What the hell?
No bounce.
Okay, that
Okay,
works.
not bad. He got
works.
away with that.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it was so much the line is tight as in he turned it, and that's the issue. If you're a little tight with a good release, you'd be fine. If you turn it, even if the ice is a little straighter, you're not going to be able to control it as much with the broom.
How much weight?
I was tight, but I think
Like
it's
I have
very
2/3.
release
I can play a good hack.
If you have low pop
Good
out,
hack.
it's gonna go dead straight.
Good hack.
Yeah,
Good
if it's
hack.
clean,
Yeah, if I
you're
can
gonna
get the back
get
out to get out, that'd be great, I think.
Also close to the center line. I think curls.
Whoa! No! Dave! Dave! Hard! Hard, Dave! Hard! Hard, Dave, you got it, come on! Come on, go! Good.
Jeff is really making some great shots in this game.
Guard it, right?
He is.
I think I'd say.
Where are you giving
And that helps take the pressure off the skip as well.
Because you can even bounce off that red. Like there.
I like it.
So Team LEUNG is shot at the back of the ring's back four. I'm just looking to guard this.
Just guard. If he makes this guard, can we try and run it?
2.
Or make the double peel?
4. Line's good. You got room. You got room. Whoa.
No.
Whoa. Room. Line's okay.
Needs to curl a lot.
Line's not bad. On its own.
Curl. No. Whoa. That's it. It's good.
You guys like? I was thinking draw, but yeah.
Okay.
Do the popping. Yeah. Around here? Yeah.
See, there were a few scary moments when the rock was coming down, but it actually landed in the perfect spot because of how deep it went. It also closed off the hole, so they can't come through. The whole team can't come through there and pick the yellow either. So this is why they're now forced to a draw.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Top button is perfect here, boys. Yeah, if you can carve it after the guard, go, Joe. No give, no give. No give. Close. Yep. Line's real good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. 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 You wanna go? Yes! Whoa. Whoa.
No, don't. Yeah.
Better if we can actually see.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Low bump's okay, I guess. But
So they just hung on to shot at the back button.
if we just get that tiny bump, if here is okay.
I think right here.
Just a bit more an edge.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah. They are.
Yeah, they're shot.
Yeah, I like the freeze. If you get a little bump, that's okay.
He's just got to be really careful here, Danielle, that he doesn't set up
What's the
any
time?
kind of a double. If this happens to hang out a bit.
Yeah.
Agreed. They need that line.
Yeah, they do.
No line.
Room.
Low line.
Switch.
Nate.
Got a curl.
Hard
Come on,
Nate.
guys. Come on, guys.
Go.
Hard.
Are we guard?
Keep going. Far as you can.
Okay, no. Leave it.
It felt okay. I kicked out heavy and kind of just let it go.
The sweepers picked it up right out of their hands. The line was there, but
Mine was actually perfect, yeah. It's a little late.
the good news about that, though, is that
Well, let's just play
it's
this.
guarded this path.
Yeah.
This, I don't know. Oh, the draw, yeah, yes. You just got to touch this blue circle. Just got to come close to the guard and carve it to the button. We got our one in our pocket. We don't need to risk anything here. Okay, well, if you like it, then we can play it, Joe. Whatever you guys like, I don't care.
Yep, absolutely.
So they're playing the draw. They just need a piece of the button.
Just.
And just, no big deal on a path that's further out. The other option they were talking about was the in-off.
I got less.
That would be
I
for
thought
3,
less.
but
Line's good.
for 2. This is
Line's good. Wait on me.
probably the easier shot.
Yeah.
Room right now. T-line, boys. Joey, T-line. Okay.
Just a little heavy and just didn't get, well, the weight wasn't terrible, just didn't get that curl.
And that'll be 1 point for Team Hall. So they've now extended their lead 5-2 over Team LEUNG. So it will be Team LEUNG with the hammer going into the 6th end after the break.
Oh.
And a very quick update for you on the women's game, tiebreaker game happening on sheet 4. It is all tied up, 3-all after 5. See a replay of that last shot. So as you can see, it was slightly heavy and hung out there and never had the line and not quite the weight.
No.
So that is just 1 point for Team Hall.
Right, and so now we're going to go into the 5th end break, and we're going to take a break here too at the desk, and we will be back in 5.
Performance. 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 I liked it. I was impressed. That's why I came to take the picture.
With one
one in our pocket, just take the one, and if you happen to make the perfect draw for 2.
Yeah, well, we can't be first half team anymore. So
I thought about it because it was there for a possible 3, but I was like, it's not worth the risk.
I'm a thinker there, sometimes she rips. Okay, are you ready? Big dirty high five.
Yeah. But at least there's no risk with the draw.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah, but there's no risk with the draw.
How did you screw up your gloves so fast? Like, mine was
it was never going to curl enough to like take our arm.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, I'm way thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, Colin, you have to show it to Grant. Go onto my mic and say, shout out to Grant.
Yeah.
Hey, your guy said he was. Yeah. And you already know it.
Keeping the wrist straight.
Oh, for sure. He doesn't play any games.
We're going to try and pick up a little bit of time.
What does he do then?
So let's get Davey's first one in the rings. And
Who?
Man, he sat at that one table with the same 3 people for the last 2 years.
once we get that first rock
Grant,
in the
at
house,
lunch.
it'll be smooth sailing.
Same table, same people every day. And it's not like it's not inside the cafe, it's outside, it's like a cafe table thing. We have cafe tables, so I'm like, I don't know what they call them. Yep. Okay, let's go, boys. Yeah. I know, but we need to grab our... Actually, no, I don't. I'll just stand over here. Colin, we're not up. We're not up.
You guys can go first if you want.
Oh, it's okay. No, I'm good. I'm good. Maybe next time.
What's up for, buddy? Where's your second one? Yeah, no less than that, but yeah. I thought. Line's good.
I think I hear light, Dave.
Oh, what the
Line's
hell?
good. Wait on me.
Make sure it's slow down right now.
Room. Room. Just top 4, boys.
And we are back with the 6th end of play here in the semifinal of the U21 Men's Championship.
That's okay, Davey. Good throw. Good.
We have a score of 5-2 for Team Hall. Team LEUNG has the hammer in the 6th.
We have another sheet out here on the ice, too. We have the women's tiebreaker game, and that's Team Steel versus Team Little. And they all tied up at 3-0, and Team Little has the hammer in N6 and currently is looking at a potential shot for 2 if they can negotiate this guard.
Good.
But if you're wanting to keep up to date on the scores, make sure to check out Curl On's website. That's ontcurl.com/scoreboard.
Line's good. 4. Line's good. Wait only. 4. Wait only. Line's good. Frozen? Freeze it. Okay, whoa. Okay, that's okay, babe. Good pair. So, normal. Okay.
Well, David has found his draw weight this end.
Norma!
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Whoa.
To the house.
No.
This one looks a little overthrown, Daniel. A lot of weight on that. I guess they were playing the double there, though.
They were, though. What they need to recognize is that they needed to keep that rock around.
Yes.
And I actually would have preferred if they had just ignored those 2 and gone for the draw around the corner, because that double was always going to be there.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Danielle. He's down 3 points. Just ignore it. It's so early in the end. You don't
Jeff,
have to worry
Jeff,
about
Jeff.
the opponent's rocks in the house at this point. Just get a few of your own in there. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine, Joe.
Oh my.
How do you feel that?
Just a hair in out.
She's usable.
So all rocks are now off the forefoot. And Josh is going to throw another guard up here.
Oh, there.
But we know that Team Hall is a really good peeling team.
Scott a little.
I like the way
So you really need to take advantage of that three-guard zone rule. The Team Leung's really going to have to use that.
Come on, come on.
And that's something that they've really been working on for the past couple seasons, and they
That looked like a really dog.
just and I'm proud of how far they've come.
Yeah.
Again, they're a U18 team still, and they've made some great strides. They still have a lot to learn, but seeing how they're playing now is vastly different from where they have been in the past.
Line's good. 6. Line's great, boys. Wait only.
Having Colin
Make
Mitchell
sure.
part of this team has to be a huge
Get it in,
advantage for
boys.
them. I'm
Line's
sure
good.
he has
Line's
lots
gonna be
of
okay if it's in.
good strategy
Line's
talks
okay.
with them, advice to give them.
Come on, boys. Yep. Go. Go. Keep going. Oh, great, sweet.
I kind of like this.
Are they in?
Yeah, but you know,
Okay, yeah.
I still like this.
Never mind that.
I really like this call. Josh is calling for a guard over on the side in front of the red, and even though it would be guarding their rock in the house, currently that red rock is acting more like a guard for Leung, so it's almost like he's double guarding right now.
3. Whoa. 4, 3.
Around?
No,
you
3.
can't. You
3.
can't. You can't.
Tight.
I think you're okay.
No, it's good.
You're good.
Fine, Nate.
Call in a little. No.
We're good.
Nice.
Okay, guard, that was slipping deeper than they had wanted.
Go around the red.
Peel.
Which handle?
But at the same time,
This way close one.
the other good thing about the yellow rock being there is you can see that if they were to try to peel on the with an inside-out intern side, Team Hall could run the risk of jamming on one of their two rocks.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Clean. Clean it. That's good. Good.
I think do that once more.
So another guard, again, they want to keep this one fairly high.
Here?
We're up.
Can you? Where is it? Can you get here? Okay, then. You gotta finish it. You gotta finish it, Colin.
Yeah, Colin.
Come on, hard finish.
Hard, Colin.
Hard. It's alright.
So they didn't get it over as far as they want, but it honestly does about the same thing. You're going to see a peel here.
Yeah. Matt's not leaving those around, that's for sure.
No. Clean it.
The sweeper's
Good,
not
Jeff.
too
Good,
eager
girls.
to touch this one.
I like it now. Back 8 is good.
Back 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got in my guard?
Yep. Line's good. Yep. Okay, line's good, line's good.
Line's good, line's good.
Close.
Yes.
Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Hard. Hard.
Switch. Nathan.
Hey, go. Hard, Nate.
Hard. Come on, come on, come on, go. Hard finish. All the way. All the way, all the way, all the way.
Great shot.
Just a hair inside nose.
So Matt's just going to try to play the run back on that rock.
Okay, firm. Right on the nose. Or hair low, I think. Yeah, right on the nose is good.
You heard it on the nose or a hair low. Hair low would send it straight back onto it and even possibly spill their rock on.
No, we're definitely doing
Close. Close. No.
Threw that a little
Yeah,
outside.
you gotta roll it, Joe. You gotta roll it. You gotta roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Gotta go. Go. Get it out of there. Okay. Yeah.
I think here. Center line. Well, don't make it too far so they can do that and be shot.
Laser straight there. Just a hair.
Another option here is so they're calling for the draw to be even at the back, so back button area on the other side, but they could also throw around more of a Christmas tree effect.
Yeah.
So that they could be shot up there, and that would make it tough on the Hall team.
Right.
You gotta stay in the so they don't have a hidden roll.
They have to be really careful with this shot. They need enough separation here. They need to make sure there's no double available for Matt.
Yeah.
I gave it a lot. Nathan close, Nathan close.
Yeah, I was thinking
Nathan.
Yeah, they got to try to make these two
Hard.
rocks
guys,
even
hard.
in the house.
Get it back four.
Yeah.
All the way. Yeah. Keep going. Come on. Come on. Hard. Hard. Come on.
Okay, we're shot. Control.
Unfortunately, the other part of that is they needed to get
Yeah.
second,
Yeah.
and they didn't quite make it.
What? Yeah. Just control.
So Hall can sit two after this shot.
Good control. Yeah.
Josh would like to see Matt roll out on this shot if possible, and he would have a split on those two. The top 12 foot to sit two and take 2 points in this end, Danielle. So Matt wants to hit and stick for sure.
Okay, clean it. Yup, you gotta go, yes!
Yes! Hold to it! Hard! Clean it.
They were thinking control on that, but that was more like a hack board weight.
That was, yeah, I'd say hack at the most, Danielle. That was quite soft weight on that shot. I was a little surprised watching that come down.
According to the teammates, they weren't. I heard the comment from Jeff afterwards. That's why I said good control, so that I knew he would throw it down. So that's a good thing for teammates to know each other. But well made shot by Matt. So Team Leung, last rock of the sixth end.
And you know, Danielle, Matt was probably thinking exactly what we said, is he cannot, like he does not want to roll out. It's not tragic, but he wanted to stay in the ring. So that's probably why he chose to throw that down weight.
Great control, great brushing. And that is a single point for Team Leung in end 6. Team Hall continues to lead, and they are up 5-3 over Team Leung. It will be Team Hall with the hammer going to N7. An update for you on the Sheet 4, which has the women's tiebreaker game. Team Little picked up a single point in N6, so they lead Team Steel 4-3. And from what we're seeing right now, it's looking like a straightforward and open end. So going to see a blank in N7 there.
Yep. Yep. Hard, guys. Come on, hard. Go, 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 go. Okay, just over, just over. Yep, yep, yeah, get it over. Hard. Hard. Come on. Come on.
I thought good control. And then
It's over.
Good sweep. It's when you owe your sweepers big time for those ones.
Yes. It's funny, you know, we've seen a couple of
Line's
hogged
good.
rocks.
Wait on
That
me.
one was almost hogged. You know, I think
Line's
it's because
good.
the ice is so fast that they're
Straight,
really, you know,
line's
afraid
good.
of putting
Line's
those guards in
great.
the rings. They're so
Wait on
important
me.
to have them in the
Keep
free
getting here,
guard zone.
boys. Line's great.
The ice is also a little bit different than they've seen. We had been clocking some of the rocks throughout the week at a 15 or 15-2 for draw weight.
That's good, Davey.
The draw that Scott had last end around to just back button was just a little over 14.5, so basically running 14.5 to T right now.
It's a little slower than
Line
it
was
has
great
been
there.
all week, Danielle.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, line's good.
But it's like you said, Mary, that is still very fast ice, so they're trying to be so precise with their shots.
Yeah. And it's such great sweeping ice. You know you can give it to your sweepers. They can pull it a long way.
Good.
And right on the button.
Yep, sure.
I actually like this call better, so I'm
Yeah,
glad
so
to
just
see
like
from the
back
hack
eight.
that they changed it. So they're playing a split on that top red. Tap on the yellow is quite difficult, only because they've gone so much buried behind that red rock.
Yeah, this is actually a great call. I like this.
Room.
Which close? Little heavy.
Room.
Okay, little heavy.
Close.
Try split, split.
Yep, yep, yep.
Hard,
Yes.
hard.
Hard. Hard.
We're not making it. You gotta roll this one.
Okay.
Just a miss on the line call. They had seen that it popped on release, but that spot still curled. So
Yeah, 'cause he threw it well, had good weight for the split.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Josh is going all out here now, though. He's
Room.
going to throw a guard on this.
Calling close. Never. Got to curl. On its own. Let it sit. Whoa. I want to say back one. Sit. Sit.
slight over curl. Unfortunately, it's can't tell exactly how much separation there is, but they're pretty close. So that might make for an easier run back for Team Hall at some point.
Whoa. No. 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 Roll it, roll it, roll it.
That was really hard. That was almost a nose hit to make that.
Good, Joe.
That's
You need to replace this guard, getting as much separation as possible.
almost a nose hit. That's almost like not there. You should just put it straight. Well, it's out of the way. On time. It's far enough away.
It would be nice if we can move this over an inch. Is it enough? I don't think it's enough.
We don't have
Enough yet. Colin. Colin. Yep. Yes, Colin. Wall.
No, it needs to curl. It needs to curl.
Okay.
So I think slash over.
Almost knows it, Joe.
We're going to leave our shooter right there. I think we got to go this way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think half is close, Joe.
Whoa! No! No, 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 no. Okay. Sorry.
Eye is good. Just a
It's that
1-2.
outward motion on the release, and this ice is unforgiving for that.
Yeah, especially with that weight too.
Okay. That was my only thinking of why you wanted to this side of pass. I know sticking the guard there is
A little tight.
The Reds maybe spinning this way, not into the ring, so you play the high side.
Line's fine. Call in. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. No.
Where?
Yeah, call in. Call in.
There's quite a bit of space in between
Hard.
those. I don't know if the
Hard
drag's
going.
there.
Hard. Hard. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa.
You just got to try and spill some rocks, yeah.
Yeah, good shot.
Same thing, Jeff.
Yep. Just, yep.
Scott certainly brings an intensity to the team.
Scott?
He does.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Josh, as you might have been able to tell, is a little bit more quiet, a little more reserved, but you need all personality types. So I think that's made it's a good intensity, though.
It is, yeah.
And so he mentioned on the previous broadcast, but the other three players had been playing together for a couple seasons, and
Whoa,
so
no.
Scott's been the new player
No, you
on the
can't.
team this year.
Okay, relax, dude. Fuck, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and him and Josh probably their personalities kind of
Yeah, I know, 'cause I
complement
just
each other.
popped it. I didn't mean
Same.
to.
Josh seems like a very quiet guy.
He is. He's very thoughtful and methodical about things, and Scott's got great communication. So he's talking things through.
Guys, did I
Josh
miss
is
this game?
ting about it, and then
I
they
don't-
come
I
to
am
their
not throwing
conclusions.
it. I've been making it, I know.
Over and off.
I know, but that was a terrible throw, okay?
On its own.
No, I know.
Gotta sit.
I know.
Sit.
I don't want to throw it like that. You listen to what I'm saying.
Great shot again. They've got a better placement on that. Here's an opportunity, though, that they can make the run, the triple run, and get the rock in the house.
Yeah, I think earlier in the end they just wanted to continue peeling the guard, but at some point they will make that run. Sit two in the house.
Close.
Close.
Yep. Yes. 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 Hard. Hard. Roll shoot. Roll shoot. Roll shoot. Roll it. Roll it.
So close.
Same thing, right? I think it's the same side.
And they've got to keep putting that guard back up.
Okay.
And actually, as a matter of fact, they want to try to keep the guard, I would actually say, on the other side of the sheet. So you saw Josh tap more for the side of center line that the broom's on, but I think they actually need to have the guard over on the other side. So if they play the run, the angles aren't such that they're going to hit it very easily.
Yeah, good point, Danielle.
In the end, though, it's crucial to make this guard. You got to keep Matt throwing triple run backs at this point.
Nathan. Gotta curl.
That's the curl.
The left side, you think?
Where?
It's not going to drag. I don't think.
Nathan, you have to.
You have to.
You have to.
Have to finish.
That's fine. I just
Come
wanna
on,
get
hard.
everything- I just want to get things out of there.
Hard.
I think we try and go thin on this side if we can, get it over the top and straight back. If we lose
They
everything,
have not
I'm
had
kinda
much
happy
success
that,
with
'cause right
Josh's
now we
outturn
don't
in
have
this spot,
No,
and
you're right, they haven't.
this has
Yeah.
been the third, fourth time that they've had that issue. Fourth time. So they need to I know they're thinking that he's popping it out a bit, but they really need to tighten it up by at least a rock.
Yeah. So that's going to give Matt an opening here. He's going to play this run back now, and it's much easier.
I think that's the way
he
you
just
stick
has
it.
to hit basically the rock on the nose, and he's going to make this.
Okay, yeah. Let's throw just Norm a hair more. Try and stick it.
I think we gotta get it out.
I think Matt should go back down, talk to his
Shot?
third.
I can't hear you. I don't know what the shot is.
Timeout.
Okay, so we have a timeout for the Hall team. I'm not quite sure, Daniel, what.
Well, it's thinner than you think it is.
Let's have a listen.
To stick that, it's pretty thin. Okay, that's fine, but I'm just letting you know, like this it's not a hair high. It's thinner than you think.
There's a good chance that we might touch this too, guys. So
Okay.
I don't think we'll feel.
I think that's about, to stick that, I think it's about half a rock. Half a rock on this side, I think, to stick it close.
I agree. It's lined up to touch this.
Which we can do with normal. We can do, but I think it's about a half hour to hit it. I agree. Maybe even less than. To be honest, if you're throwing normal, I think it could be even a little less than a half. I think because they're so close together. I think. Okay, Davey. No, but Joe, they're close. Guys, enough 1, 2. Guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. Davey.
I don't think it's. Is it close enough to drag?
I don't think so.
There's no drag?
I don't think so.
So then, where do you guys think we gotta hit?
I think a thin half to a third.
Because we can always hit it and roll it.
It's okay. That's fine. I don't think you can hit this too thin.
No, I agree.
With the guard there.
You just like chisel it.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you guys knew where to hit it.
Yeah.
It's one of those shots where it looks like it's a nose, but it's really thin.
My thought was just like my thinking with Peel was just let's get this out of there because right now we have nothing. I get what you're saying though. I'd love to keep one of these reds around.
It's thinner than you think. It's probably closer to a third, I think. To dead nut it. You can hit a third, yes. You gotta skinny that top guards. You're gonna have to like literally skinny the top red, but like it is there. I think you can't. It's hard. You can't hit it too thin because even if you just chisel it into the ring, it's probably good. You know, if we hit a quarter rock and just not chisel it in with normal weight, that's what we're thinking.
Not what do you like?
I kind of, my first thought was Peel just to get rid of it all, but like I kind of like the at least normal. I think normal is the softest we can go. I don't mind it.
The only thing, the only thing that Joe said about control, like if we did hit it too thin, we might, if we throw less weight, we can save it.
Yeah.
Just normal?
Okay, sure.
All right, like, good decision, guys.
Yeah.
Go make it.
Yeah.
Like a half rock, I think makes it. Thinner's better, but I think you just wait. Once you know you're by that guard, just pound it as much as you can.
My guard is a third. I think it's
Okay.
than you guys are thinking.
Yeah, I trust you. I trust you. A third's good. Normal with like that?
Yeah. Like normal. Okay. Like, do you think, like, just a hair off center? I think if you're normal, if you throw normal, I think we can pull it out.
Can I just get a hair more, Jeff?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good discussion here. And
All right, just normal here, boys.
This is what we had alluded to before. We weren't sure how much separation there is, and if there's anything about 2 inches or less, there's drag effect into it, and it seems like it's hovering around that 2-inch separation mark, so they weren't sure whether there would be any drag on it or not.
He's indicating he wants to hit about a third of this rock, of the yellow rock.
That's pretty good.
And a great shot. And to answer that question, yes, there was drag involved in that. So they were right with that. So we'll listen in.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much do you think it's going to curl here?
Yeah, I think board. Maybe even a bit more, like there. More? Yeah.
I thought, Danielle, if you hit that yellow rock on Matt's previous shot, if you hit it dead on the nose, I still think you make that shot, and you're also going to stay. Your shooter's going to stay on the center line. This kind of opened it up for. I mean, he had to play the shot, but this kind of opened it up for Josh. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know. We don't know how close those two rocks were.
Whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa. Close. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I can see a piece.
Nice shot by Josh.
Yeah, just like here.
You guys like that ice in the back line? Back line, you like that ice? Can't hear you. I think it's easier to bump it. There's a lot of space. Ton of space. It's easier to bump it out.
I like this with back line.
Because I can hit it thin, it's okay.
Yeah.
But like you just got to make sure, we got to make sure we touch it.
Yeah.
Even if we come to the nose, that's fine.
So they actually want that rock not to spill quite as far so that it was a different angle. But, I mean, still, great shot to get by here. And not an easy shot for two.
Speed's good here. Let's make this one, boys. You can go. You can go. Whoa, whoa. Hold! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop! Whoa! Joey! Hard!
And that was a great pick to pick up the single. Matt was so excited about it that he just lost his balance there, but all is good. He put a 10 up, so I felt that was worthy of a 10.
I didn't see it.
He did. But that's a single point for Team Holland. They lead 6-3 over Team LEUNG going into end number 8. So Team LEUNG will have the hammer in end 8. I have to comment on what's going on behind the glass right now. So when Matt had his fall and put up a 10, and his coach
gave him a thumbs up.
Ray Bushfield had gave him a thumbs up just to make sure he was A-okay. And but Ray came over to Renee and just said, just wanted to let you know I wasn't trying to signal him from behind the glass.
Exactly.
I was just asking if it was okay.
Wait only. Line's good. Just soft 4, boys. Line's good. That's good, baby. Great throw. Great judge.
One.
Yeah. Line's good. Hard. Look. Switch. Okay, line's fine. Wait only. Yeah, little finish. Keep going.
4.
Not much left here.
Line's good. 4. Line's fine. 4. Line's... Yep, gotta go. Line's okay. Okay, Joey now. Okay, yep, hard. Hard, go. That's good, Dave. That's okay. Great throws.
So even though Team LEUNG is down by 3, that what they really only need to do in this end is to
Line's good.
make sure of their deuce,
Close.
because if they're
Yep.
in that place, they can
Yep.
get their deuce, go for a steal in N9,
Yeah,
and then
line's
go
good,
for a
line's good.
steal in N10.
Yeah, yeah. Yellow. Oh, shit.
Just rip. What turn? Whoa.
What?
Clean, clean.
Well, the line was fine.
Yep, yep. Clean, clean. Good. Great throw.
Two.
This is just a case of patience for the LEUNG team. They
Bro.
got their
Got it.
rock in play. They're
Got it, girl.
going to have to keep throwing the corner, and then eventually
Scott.
they'll
You got it.
they'll address the rocks in the middle.
Hard. Hard, guys. Come on. Hard. Hard. All the way. Nice.
All of these sweepers have really been earning their keep this today out on the ice.
I know. You can hear them huffing and puffing.
Clean, clean. Clean it. Great throws, Joe. Real good.
Thanks, Nate. Wait's good. Whoa, on its own. Whoa. Got a curl. No, got a curl. Just got. Just got. Just got. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Yep, yep, yep. Come on, you gotta go. Good. At what point, I think we freeze on here now. Once they outside. Yeah. I have one more.
Whoa. Clean, clean it. Clean it. Good.
So still in the second stone, so they're going to continue to guard this rock in the house.
Give me a little less ice.
Yeah, I think when he gets to third stones, either first or second rock of the thirds, he's going to start making a play on the red rock in the center.
Hard. Come on, guys. Line's good. Line's good. Line's perfect. Line's really good. Hard, 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 hard. Come on. Go, go, go.
Go, go, go.
Good.
What? Not really, no. It's going to take them 2 shots to get at that. Clean. Clean, clean it. Good.
And as you mentioned,
Or a
Mary,
little bump. Yeah, I like that.
they're now going to
Go
start
team.
making a play towards the center. So crucial to get this rock in a good spot. If they can get a good freeze, then that means they can use it for their second shot, because you can bet that yellow may not be on the outside, may not be there in another shot, depending on what happens here.
They're going to have to be really careful with it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And even then, they'd have to run one of our guards.
Hard. Hard. Really hard. You got it. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Just.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I thought it
whoa.
slid pretty good, Josh.
Yeah.
Make the double.
Perfect weight on that too, Danielle.
Perfect. Well, it sounded like Scott thought he slid well at it.
Yeah.
So it was just a case of a little more ice.
Yeah. I didn't think that spot was so at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe a little thinner.
Yeah. If we hit it a little thick, we roll in front, that's fine.
Okay. Like firm, you said?
Firm, yeah. Make the double here.
Right there?
Yeah,
Okay, I think we can take an inch less maybe. I like here.
yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Just firm. Close?
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yep.
Yes!
Yes!
Take it out! Hard! 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 Take it out! Hard!
They narrowly avoided the jam. Great sweep out the back by Jeff, and they are sitting two.
I don't think it's going to call time. It might once across the center, though.
Make sure we had the good line there.
Playing a hidden roll off of the rock sitting on the button, you could see there was some air there for them to roll. This is a spot that we've seen move, so shouldn't be an issue with that. They actually just need to keep in mind. I mean, the shot has to be made perfectly, but they definitely don't want to be wrecking on that top guard. They need to make sure this rock on the button disappears.
Yep. Yep. Yes. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Yes. Hard. 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 Hard.
Yep.
And he just gets shot rock. Unfortunately, sitting right behind the red rock. Pretty easy. Short run back for Matt.
Okay, yeah.
Even if it had just rolled half a rock shorter, it would have made a huge difference. They could have been looking at a blank.
Yeah.
Nose is good.
Right there.
Okay, same weight I just threw.
But as long as he keeps these two rocks around, depending on where they leave it, of course.
Yep.
They really do want to do that because if there's only one rock and it'll be exposed, there's a blank.
Yeah. They want to force Josh to take a point here if possible.
Close. Whoa, easy.
Close.
Yep. Yes!
Take it out.
Hard!
Take it out.
Hard to it.
Great shot. So it'll be a draw to the full 8 foot for Team LEUNG to pick up a single.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Full 8.
on. Fully.
Yeah.
Yep, can't hurt it. Well, can't hurt it. Nice one.
Great shot, just a clean in, and that'll be a single point for Team LEUNG. So they're trying to close the gap, but currently trail Team Hall 6-4 after 8 ends. It will be Team Hall with the hammer in end number 9. Have a look over at our other sheet that's playing today. We have the women's tiebreaker game between Team Steel and Team Little. And through 8 ends of play, they were all tied up. And they had just finished the 9th, though we have no score up yet. And that the winner of that game will play Team Wallingford in the women's semifinal at 1:15 p.m. today. That will be at the same time as the men's final, and we'll have coverage of the men's final at 1:15 today. And of course, the winner of our feature sheet here, Team LEUNG, will be going on to play Team Wilsey in the men's final.
Line's great. Wait only. Line's gonna be great. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. That's good, Davey. Good throw. Great judge.
Little bump, it's not bad. Close. Might have to go. Oh, that's good. Yep. Line only. Yep. Whoa. 8, 9. No. Stop. Nathan? Yeah. Stop. Please. Hard. Come on.
A good line, a lot of weight, more weight than they were expecting, and it bumped right through.
Hack.
Whoa. Waist real good. Whoa. Close. Jeff. Whoa. Joey. Close on the roll, Jeff. Whoa. Great shot, Davey.
Perfect hit and roll. Again, Team Hall has hammer this end, so they're wanting to draw the play more towards the outside of the ring. Team LEUNG down 2 points. They're going to be going hard for a steal here. So this next rock by second Nathan Steele is pretty critical rock. They need to get in a good position because this will most likely be the rock they're guarding for the rest of the end.
Okay.
Back 4, but fully buried behind, so Team Hall, no hesitation, calling for the peel on the center guard.
Yep. Hard. Okay, good. Good, Joe.
These sweepers are just so strong. They can, they have such an effect on the rock.
I wish I had sweepers like that, Danielle. I'd be such a good curler.
You just have to throw it at the broom. Smoke and mirrors the rest. Oh, Mary, I hate to say it, but the men do have the advantage when it comes to sweeping, just through pure physical strength, and it is a reason why you tend to see higher percentages amongst the top male curlers at any age. simply have that ability to manipulate the rocks that much more with their sweeping.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Especially, you know, the elite level, these guys are in the gym almost every day of the week, and they're such good shape.
Well, especially when we had that Broomgate situation with the different broom heads and the directional sweeping, and if you looked at the percentages for teams, I distinctly remember the Briar, the percentages, they're about 5% higher on average. They've been other years. Just that's how much, with the directional sweeping, you could affect it.
Yeah. I'm glad that's all over and done with. Yeah. It was an interesting year, I'll tell you, but it really took away from the game, I thought.
Yeah. It did, and that was something that was agreed upon by every single person.
Yeah.
The competitors on the ice, but you had no choice but to
follow along. Yes,
you did.
Yeah,
I remember the first team who did it against us, Jacqueline Harrison's team, and just watched them manipulate it. They were making shots we couldn't even hope to make because they could carve the rock. Yeah. I remember them giving tight ice and just specifically Janet Murphy was sweeping this rock and backed it out a foot. And I just almost couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah.
And, you had to get with the program, otherwise you weren't winning.
Yeah, you can't beat them, join them. And if everyone else is doing it, you kind of have to. Or you're not going to win a game.
No. Because at the top level of any age group, it's really the little things that make the difference. It's do you have an edge on sweeping, on throwing, on your nutrition, your fitness.
Nathan a little. Line's good. Okay, line's fine.
To finish with my update from the tiebreaker game, the women's tiebreaker game, it was a blank end in N9, so it is tied up coming to the 10th and final end. And as Team Steel, who has the hammer. Excuse me, that's the Little team who has the hammer.
Team Little has the hammer in the 10th end. That's been a barn burner over there.
Clean. Can't hurt it. Clean. Can't hurt it. Good throws.
Mid-8. A bit more mid-8. Actually, just give me mid-8.
Happy to see the selection of the intern on this side, not only because they've been throwing it a few times, but also this is going to be Josh's more successful turn in this spot.
Line's good. Line's good. Where? Line's good. Up. Line's good. Line's good. Whoa. Line's good. On its own. No, no. You can, Colin. Colin, if you can.
That's what they need. They need a guard there, and so you're going to see Matt rip it. But for their next rock, they're going to have to be very precise with their placement if this peel is made.
All right.
Clean. Just clean, just clean.
Yep, can't hurt it, can't hurt it. Yep. Okay. You think like top 12? Like,
I think we make them draw.
yeah, so really tight.
I like really tight. Yeah,
Or even biting.
yeah I want to make them draw.
Right there. Mid-8, so like right there.
So they had a couple choices on this. They could throw a guard again, or they could throw the rock in the rings, but you heard them say it, they want to make him draw.
Yeah, you're right, Danielle. They could put one in the rings, and then Matt would have to decide where they wants to try to double them off. I kind of like this. Matt will have to bite the button.
Yeah, a nice tight guard directly guarding it. That is what they'll need.
Hard. Okay. Switch. Come on, hard. All the way. Come on, guys. Hard finish. Hard. Hard.
Do you want to throw for 2?
Yeah, unfortunately, if that rock had 5 feet more weight, it would have been there.
Like that back line right through? Yeah. I like it. You can see, like, three corners. Okay. Let's do it.
So this is a hit for 2 for the Hall team, and could even be the game.
Handshakes, maybe. Yeah, if he makes this.
Hey, just half here.
If they take 2. If they take 2. If they're not coming back from 4 against them.
Yep, yep.
Yes! Yes!
Yes! Hard! Hard! Whoa, whoa! Joey!
And with that, that
Great
is
sweep there,
2
Joey.
points for Team Hall. And it's handshakes. Final score of 8-4 for Team Hall over Team LEUNG. So Team Hall will be advancing to the final of the Ontario U21 Men's Provincial Championship, and they will take on Team Wilsey. And we'll have that for you, of course, at 1:15 p.m. today.
Yeah, and that will conclude our feature match for today. We are awaiting the results of the women's semifinal to see the women's tiebreaker to see who will play in the semifinal of the women's. That's going to be shown today at 1:15. Sorry, am I wrong on that, Danielle?
I believe we're showing the men's final,
The men's final.
at that point,
At that
but it
point.
will be on the ice at 1:15,
Yes,
and we'll be
yes.
updating you the whole time.
So 1:15, we will be showing the men's final. Wilsey up against Hall.
So we'd like to take this time to thank all of our viewers for watching our coverage of the 2017 Ontario U21 Curling Championships, brought to you by Curl On. On behalf of Mary, myself, and our entire TSL crew, we wish you a good afternoon from the Annandale Golf and Curling Club. This has been a presentation of Title Sports Live.